the next thing that I was going to bring up was Arrival, and my thoughts on that, which are highly, highly negative. And first of all, I want to bring up something. So now we have this trend in science fiction movies, which luckily The Martian kind of sidestepped this, and I'm very thankful that it wasn't a big deal in that movie. But so is every sci-fi movie going to be like some kind of bait and switch, where it's really about having kids and being a parent and how important that is and all that stuff? I mean, like, do you remember when, and it wasn't that long ago, where you could go and see 10 movies and there would be no mention of either kids or parents?
Well, that's basically leaving out everybody but single people.
No, I mean the thing is, you go to the 40s, go to the 50s, go to the 60s, go to the 70s. Let's take a look at the 70s. Did R.P. McMurphy have a little kid somewhere in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? I mean, was Dog Day Afternoon really about kids and parents? I mean, there were kids and there were parents in it, but that really wasn't what the movie. So I mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, Taxi Driver didn't have any kids or parents in it. There's a couple of parents at the end of the movie. I mean, just this whole idea that everything's got to be about your fucking progeny and everything like that. And I realize that, rules don't apply has an element of this in it too. But I just get so tired of it. I mean, and especially now, because one of the fastest growing demographics in the nation are people who live alone. There are 30 million people, more people than ever before, who are living alone. And I'm one of them. I mean, I'm here with a family member, with my mom, but I'm just tired of hearing about children and
yeah, but
being a parent.
Find me one person on the planet who doesn't have a mother. Really,
yeah. Well, mothers are very rare in movies. I mean, it's very. I guess that's a good thing in Arrival. But anyway, to get back to Arrival, what a bore. I can't say it any stronger than God was I bored. I mean, bored from the very beginning of it. And, kind of annoyed with the whole Terrence Malick, girl looking at a caterpillar on a flower and stuff like that. And just, I don't know. I don't want to see anybody doing Malick except Malick. Let's put it that way. And I might.
And he's not doing it well here lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm struggling to get up the energy to watch To the Wonder and Night of Cups, both of which are on Amazon Prime, and so it's free. And I still can't even make myself do it because it just seems like such a slog. There was nothing in Arrival that was new or original, or it was basically sort of like a Twilight Zone episode that could have been done in 30 minutes. Instead, we have to sit for 2 hours and watch it. It's like a movie that, okay, so imagine if Close Encounters started off with the mothership coming down and doing the bleep, bleep, bloop, bloop, musical conversation that they have, and then the rest of the movie is nothing but them trying to figure out what each bleep and bloop means. And then there's this thing about time and just the whole revelation in the movie that comes at the end, which I don't want to spoil it for people, but I was like, ugh. So what good is this? So the aliens came down just to help this woman, I don't know, see her future or whatever? How could that help anybody? Who would want that? Why would you would you want to know your entire future before you actually lived it? What kind of help would that be? It would just be a big pain in the ass. It'd be a big headache. So, and that's what the aliens leave us. That's what they came down for. How is that going to help? Jeremy Renner was a big nothing in it, and just a kind of a plot device. And I really wasn't that impressed with Amy Adams either. I mean, she just puts on those eyes of wonder, and that's about it. And I just don't get what everybody's going nuts over. The only thing I liked in it was Johan Johansson's score, which I thought was superb. But I thought, big nothing. It's starting to feel like Contact is one of the, Robert Zemeckis' Contact from the 90s is one of the most influential movies ever made, at least as far as science fiction goes, because everybody's fucking ripping it off left and right. We get a new Contact rip-off every year now. With the last one being Interstellar. So every 2 years, I guess. But I was just like, whatever, feh. I heard people sobbing and stuff in the theater. I was like, what? What the fuck? What are you crying about? There's absolutely nothing that's even getting me close to crying in this movie. And I didn't cry at the beginning of the movie either. I didn't find any of that touching or anything. It was just, whatever. I don't even understand why that stuff's at the beginning of the movie, because it can't be memories that she's already having, So why is that there? You know why it's there? It's there to bait, and it's there to fool us, not to. I say the word fool in the worst sense. Like, there's no logical reason for those scenes to be there. They're just there to fool us into thinking that it's something that's already happened when it's not. I just don't understand it. I thought it was cheap. When it's all said and done, you go back and look at it, you're like, yeah, but why did they have all that stuff? So, and by the way, now that I've seen it, I can fully say that state my suspicions about Denis Villeneuve as a director, who I think he fails more often than he succeeds. I know some people love Prisoners, and I liked Sicario a lot, but I did not like Prisoners, and I was not a fan of Enemy, or I haven't seen Incendies. So I don't get him.
I did. Yeah.
Adam?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it did grab me at the beginning. The stuff with when they showed the whole life of the child, and that really did grab me. And I thought, oh boy, we're onto something good here, because I was, I wasn't crying or anything, but it was like, this is pretty powerful. And then the movie started.
Then the aliens come, and you're like...
Yeah, the aliens came, and by the time the military showed up, that was when I was rolling my eyes, because I said, here we go with another military subplot with the, and you've got the gung-ho... the
gung-ho
Asian,
commander that's like, do your job, and then there's the one guy who's like shitting on everybody, the Michael Stuhlbarg character who's like, I shit on you, so you're supposed to hate him. And and it was also such a dull-looking movie. I mean, it was so drained. Why'd they drain it of color? I just don't understand that. Like, they might as well have shot it in black and white. That would have been a braver choice. you know, so much of it is dark. I don't, you know, I don't know. I was just bored by it. Like, it's just like every other Alien movie. They didn't bring anything new to the table, and
no.
I can't say it any stronger. I know you liked it.
I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I mean, I didn't hate it, you know, as much as Dean did, but I did find it to be somewhere middle of the road. I just wasn't overly enthusiastic about it, and all my colleagues, you know, I was sitting with them, and they were just there. Some of them, their spouses came with them, and they were moved to tears, and I'm sitting there just totally unmoved emotionally, and I felt like the turd in the punch bowl. What is wrong with me? Have I lost all sense of emotion? Am I losing my humanity? I don't know what's wrong with me, because all these people are sitting around me and they're just so moved, and I'm sitting here like a stone. What's wrong with me? But I just had to stick to my guns, though. You know, I have to be honest, and you know, so.
And I don't feel like I'm losing my humanity. I just feel like I feel like everybody else is losing their sense of taste, frankly. I really think that being fed this steady diet of junk food that you get most of the year has really just killed people's taste buds. And now they, you know, it's like, oh, it's the time of the year for Oscars, so anything that comes out this time of year must be good. Like, no. It's like, if it looks like it has the imprimatur of goodness on it, then it must be good. But that's not the case.
I was incredibly moved by Allied. You know, I saw that, and nobody seems to like it but me, or everybody's lukewarm on it. I enjoyed it. I'm telling you. You were talking about Zemeckis, and I thought, you know, he's still got it, but it seems like these critics, this crop of critics that are coming up, they're out of step with my sensibilities, and it used to be the opposite. And I don't know, I feel at odds with everybody, but I really enjoyed that movie. I've got to tell you, I thought it was incredibly moving, and it was suspenseful at times, and a lot of great period detail, and I ate it up. I really did. I got to be honest with you.
Well, I'm not so excited to see that movie, I have to say, because I don't really feel like Zemeckis still has it. I mean, like
I didn't either. I felt the same way, and you know, but I quite enjoyed it. I got to be honest.